Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to make these really cute pink rose nails. So as you saw already, we've got 3 different pinks going on today. So I kind of picked out 3 different shades going from the lightest. So here we've got Pink Star, then the darkest we've got Electra, and then the middle shade is Love's Veil. So just the 3 pinks. We also have some Blooming Gel that's going to help us do some roses, and we also have a matte top coat from Vanillisa. So now working on our background shades and nails and stuff. So I think we've got 2 nails that are going to have the lightest pink shade. Then we've got 2 nails with that middle shade, and then we've got 1 nail that's going to be an ombre, and we're going to use Electra and also the lightest shade of pink and ombre them together. If you prefer to do the middle shade of pink with Electra, go ahead. It might actually be easier for you to blend them together just because they're both slightly darker. Trying to blend a really dark shade to a really light shade can be a bit challenging. So if you're not up for it, then just switch out the 2 color combination pretty much. But the reason I wanted to ombre the darker shade is because the nail art design itself mainly has the darker shade as the roses. So I felt like if I didn't add it into the ombre, almost felt like there just wasn't enough of that color, and it felt like that color would look kind of out of place in the design. So that's why I decided to use it as an ombre nail. So here I'm just using my Madame Glam ombre brush, just going back and forth a couple of times in between wiping my brush, and then I'll pop it into the lamp. Off camera real quick, we'll do 2 layers of everything, and then here it is. We've got now some glitter, so that means one thing and one thing only. We've got a sugar nail today, so I decided to sugar the middle pink shade. So I'm just sprinkling on the glitter. It's one of my most used glitters. This one is so beautiful. I do so many pink designs, and yeah, that one just manages to fit everything. I almost couldn't talk there. Right, everything's gone into the lamp. Now it's time for the actual art, the hand done everything pretty much today. We've got no stamping today, so everything is done by hand. So onto the lighter shade of pink, we are applying a layer of Blooming Gel. Then once that's applied, don't cure it because we need to apply the gel polish on top of it for it to bloom the gel polish and make a rose for us. Now I'm going into that darker shade of pink, and I'm going to start working on the rose. So I'm just starting top right hand side, and just very gently I'm just doing these like half circle swipes. I am not at all caring about those swipes. As you can see, they're not perfect. They look kind of wonky. Some lines are thinner than others. Some are, you know, more pigmented than others. I'm not caring too much. With Blooming Gel, I find that method to be the most easiest to do roses. No matter how, you know, thick or thin your lines are, it always ends up looking like such a beautiful rose. So if you are worried or never done this before, just please try and give it a go. As you can see here, I'm literally not even caring as much, you know, not being very precise with anything, just doing swipes and hoping for the best. The longer you leave it, the more it's going to bloom, so do bear that in mind. Don't leave it chilling for too long, because I've done that in the past and it literally blooms to nothing. It will just literally smudge into one another and just go all over the place. So once you're happy with the bloom, pop into the lamp. So I think I might have either waited or I started work on the next nail, but every so often I kept an eye on it because I really didn't want it blending, you know, blooming too much. Then we are doing some French tips. We've got 2 French tip nails today. So on the lighter shade of pink, I'm using the middle shade of pink to do the French. And we're going to do something very similar on the middle shade of pink. I should have remembered the name colors, I'm so sorry, but the nail with the middle pink shade, we're going to flip it around and then use the lighter shade of pink to do the French. So basically what we're doing here, we're just flipping it around, switching the colors out basically on the other nail. So now I'm going to do that after, and those gel polishes are honestly so pigmented that you can get away with just doing 1 layer. They're so pigmented. Even this lighter pink, like I've got a darker shade underneath, and it's just so pigmented. I love Madame Glam gel polishes. They're literally my love. So again, that French tip, I've got French tip literally mastered at this point. I can just outline that smile line with no problems these days, but that took a lot of practice and work. So you can get there. If you're struggling yourself, you will eventually get there. Just keep going, keep trying, get yourself some tips, play about with some art like I do with these tips, and you will be able to do French tips in no time. Right, now we're just going to colour in the tip. I'm just using the brush from the bottle to make it quicker and easier for me. That will then go into the lamp, and at this stage, funny enough, although we've got almost nothing done on the nails, it's time to top coat. The reason we're top coating is because the remainder of today's design is going to be on top of the matte top coat. We're going to be using clear acrylic to sprinkle on top of the hand painted roses that we're going to do, and it's going to create like a 3D look. It's the same method as if you were doing wintry sweater nails. It's the same method, it's just rather than sweater we're doing roses. So I think they call them embossed roses on nails, but I could be completely wrong with that, so don't, just in case it's not it. So there goes the matte top coat, in the lamp it goes, then the hand painted roses. Again, it might look harder than it looks, honestly. I'm sorry, it probably looks harder than it is. But it really isn't that hard. As long as you just are pretty patient with yourself, everything will be fine. So you're almost repeating what you did at the start with the blooming roses. And you're just doing these little swipes. Here I'm just trying to be a bit more careful and do those lines a little bit more thinner. Almost a bit more of a controlled movement, just because I'm trying to fit 2 roses on this. I didn't want to do too big of a rose, just so that in case I couldn't fit another one on, basically. But just keep going, and then once you're happy with how much you've kind of covered up, I wanted another one below it. So again, we're doing that exact process. The rose below is going to be smaller, which is exactly what I wanted. But if you're a bit too worried about fitting in 2, you can always just do one larger one. I'm pretty sure we'll just end up looking the same, really. But I wanted 2 there. And then once I'm happy with how it's looking, I'm going to get the clear acrylic, and I'm just going to sprinkle it on. The clear acrylic, you literally don't need anything expensive. You can literally go on Shein or AliExpress and get the most cheapest clear acrylic. If it's only just for sprinkling on and making like the 3D look, then you don't need anything good. Anything will work pretty much. I am using glitter bells today. That's just because I've just got it in my collection and I'm just, I just had it to hand, so I'm going to use it. But if I was not into acrylics or anything, then I would definitely not be spending like £8 on a jar of clear acrylic when I'm not an acrylic user. So just bear that in mind. I don't want you guys spending too much money on stuff that you could just get cheaper and it does the same thing. So now we're on to the other French tip, and we're going to flip it around. So now we're doing the roses on the top left hand side rather than the bottom, and we're also going to include 2 roses. So the one there on the right hand side corner, and then one will be below it. If at any moment in time you get something wrong, then just wipe it away, because of course it's not cured yet. So don't put too much pressure on yourself. If you're unhappy with what you've produced, then just wipe it off and try again, pretty much. So here goes the last rose. Almost there. And then again, sprinkle that clear acrylic. I like to pop it into the lamp for a double cure, just because I've got like 2 different kind of products in one another. Like I've got the wet gel polish with the acrylic on top, and it just makes me feel better if it's in the lamp for double cure, just to make sure it's really cured. So there goes the clear acrylic. You know when to stop sprinkling the clear acrylic on when the gel polish stops looking matte, pretty much. So once you're happy with that, pop it into the lamp. And last but not least, we're working on that blooming gel nail. And what I'm going to do is just create some little outlines. So I'm just going to follow the lines, all of them pretty much, that we've created. Very quickly, very, not too fast, not trying to take too much time on it, just doing swipes on all the lines that we've already created. And we're going to sprinkle some clear acrylic on there too. If you wanted these lines to stand out even more, I would advise using maybe a white gel polish or like a different maybe shade of pink to the ones that we've already got on that nail, just to make it stand out a little bit more, because once I sprinkle on the clear acrylic, it almost feels like you can't really tell as much that it's there. So up to you what you think about that nail, and if you even think it's necessary, because it might not even be necessary. But that will be the last one we will be doing. The remainder of today's design now is going to be crystals. I didn't leave too much footage of it, but there is a bit going on, to be honest. So the French tip nails got these beautiful sparkly bows, and they're going to go on a smile line. Of course, ideally, maybe place the bow, if you're going to do it for like selling purposes or on a client, then do the rhinestone placement before top coating, just because you might end up having rhinestone glue gel, coming out and making a shiny nail on top of a matte nail, which is not what you want. But the 2 bows are now in the lamp. Once they're back out, we're going to pop a couple of the rhinestones and the little pink crystal-y things down. Here I'm just looking for the right sizes, because I wanted 2 of the same ones for the ABs. Everything that I'm using today, so the rhinestone glue gel is from Macart, but all the charms, all the roses, all the crystals and everything else is from Shein, guys. I've been preferring Shein over for about over a year to 2 now, actually, for some reason. There is obviously ever so often a reason for me to hop onto AliExpress. There's always going to be something that Shein doesn't have, but Shein is so super affordable. And if you use my link down below and create yourself an account on Quidco, it's a cashback website, and you can actually ship on Shein and get a percentage back for what you spend, which is literally amazing. I love that so much, and I've saved so much money on there. So if you use my link down in the description, you get yourself £15 for free once creating an account, and once you first get your first like £5 back across all your shops. So once you've gathered up a first £5, you'll then get £15 for free. So literally free money for doing your regular shopping anyway. So definitely check it out. It doesn't just have Shein, it's got literally any shop under the planet. Groceries, you've literally got, I don't know, technology, fashion, anything on there. So definitely check it out. So as you saw on that ombre nail, we've got that rose down. Again, that one's from Shein. Look how cute. I can't believe it. It's so cute. And then down the center, we're going to place the rhinestone glue gel. And then we've got a lot of caviar bead. And oh boy, was I getting frustrated with the caviar beads. They just would not come off my brush when I tried to place them down. There was a little moment where I was getting really frustrated with them. They were just straight up refusing to come off, which is very annoying. But we got there in the end. So we've got the rose down in the center, cured into place already, because it's heavy and I didn't want it moving. And then we're going to follow the line that we've created and just place down caviar beads. So for example, like here, it just takes so long for it to come off, the caviar beads. So after a couple of caviar beads, it will all depend how large your nail bed is. So if you've got like a really long nail bed, then great, you can do like a bunch of these. If not, then only a couple will be able to be placed down. But after a couple of caviar beads, you want to then place those pink little things I've got. After that, you continue the caviar bead line and then place some AB crystals down and then finish it off with the caviar beads. So I don't show the whole process. It took a long while, and using some cuticle tools or anything you've got to hand to straighten up those lines before popping into the lamp. But I do that right at the end once I get like here, it just would not come off. Look at that. Oh, there we go. I was getting really frustrated. So those are the pink ones down, yeah, and then just the ABs, finish it off with the caviar beads and you're done. Pop it into the lamp, and here are the final results. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I would love to see you all in my next video. Bye guys.